In this video, we'll look at some of the terminology involved in Bumblebee. So Bumblebee is a web-based automation framework which lets you create a plan and run tests on hardware and then determine the pass or fail criteria based on the serial prompt logs. So before going into the details of each of these aspects, let's familiarize ourselves with the layout of the Bumblebee page. So we have in the main page, once you launch the Bumblebee scheduler and go to localhost from a browser, you come to the job listing page. On the right side of the job listing page, you see a list of colorful buttons. So we have plans, tests, tasks, assets, and some terminology like that. To start with, we need to understand the concept of a plan. So a plan is nothing but a definition of a set of tests that needs to be run on a platform. So for example, you can tell that a set of tests including SAMD21 AP mode test and SAML21 TCP IP client forms a plan. Now, when you trigger this plan, a job is created. Now the job will have these two examples that we defined in the plan, and the job will go through its life cycle to create the hex file associated with each of these examples and download it onto the corresponding hardware and then compare the results with what we have stored in the internal database. The life cycle of a job starts at the queued stage, and once the scheduler picks it up, the cloning process starts. Once the clone is done, project creation for all the examples that are available in the plan is done, and then once the project is created, a build is queued. Once the build is done, it goes into the test queued stage, wherein it waits for an asset to be available to run the test on. An asset is nothing but the actual hardware on which the test runs. At the end of the test, it is binned as pass or fail, and all the corresponding logs in between this will be available. So this chart is available in the text execution guide, which is available in Confluence. So these are the different components in the life cycle of a task. Next, in the next video, we'll go and see how a plan is created for different frameworks, and then in subsequent videos, we'll see how tests are defined and how assets are added.